If you could talk to your younger self, what would you tell them? Oh man. So many things. Stop being cringe is one. So many things, dude. Invest in Google. So real, so real. Honestly, fuck yeah, dude. If I could tell my younger self one thing, probably invest. Yeah, actually, that's a really good one. Yeah, buy Bitcoin right now, exactly. You know what's really crazy? I didn't realize how financially illiterate people were, like as a whole. Not saying any specific people, but as a whole, I didn't realize how financially illiterate people were until like I started learning about financial literacy. I remember I was setting up my Roth IRA, I was setting up my SEP, and like at that point I was really getting into like learning how to like do tax avoidance, to like minimize the taxes I have to pay and stuff like that. And I remember like I was looking into all these options of like what to invest in, and like there's mutual funds, there's index funds, there's, you know, stocks, there's so many different things, right? And at that point I was like, holy shit, you know, like if you're not taught this is like straight up just impossible to learn. Like there's so much stuff that goes into financial literacy that's just incredibly hard to access. And I was talking to my friend about this actually, because I was like, I'm a verbal processor. So like when I don't understand something, I like talking about it to try to understand it. And so I was talking about this with my friend, the same friend I beat in Mario Party, actually. Unrelated, but related. But I was talking to her about like, you know, oh, like I want to buy a house eventually, but then like I need to like raise my credit score a little bit more so I can like qualify for a better loan. And like, you know, I also want to start investing into XYZ thing, but then like if I invest too much, then we'll have enough to pay off my credit cards, blah, 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 blah. And she was like, I don't even have a credit score. And I was like, girl, what? We're the same age. What do you mean you don't have a credit score? And I was like, what the, how did you buy anything? How did you buy your car? How did you go to school? I was so just bewildered. I was like, there's no fucking way you don't have a credit, what? No. And then I ended up helping her find some like, you know, entry-level credit cards to get started on with. And, you know, she finally has a credit score. She's doing great now. Her credit score is rising. Her credit age is a little weak, but you know, we will fix that. We will fix that with time. Yeah, I was just so bewildered. And then the more I talked to other people, because like, okay, so I had a high school reunion recently. Does that dox my age?
The age of 30 is in demand.
Whatever. Recently, as in like anywhere from last year to 5 years ago. I had a high school reunion recently, and people in high school kind of thought I was a little strange. And so when I went back to that reunion and I had a major fucking glow up, they were like, what the fuck? Yena Youngblood? Is that you? And I was like, yeah, hi guys, you know? And like, I actually ended up reconnecting with a lot of like old classmates. It felt a little bit weird just because like there were some people that I talked to who were like really friendly with me who actively bullied me in high school. But I guess that's what a glow up does to you, man. That's what a glow up does to you. People stop being mean to you as soon as you start becoming pretty. But I was talking with a lot of them about like career choices and career directions, like what they were doing in life now and blah, blah, blah. And I found out that a lot of them don't even know how to do their own taxes, you know? I was like, at that time I had been really like focusing on building my Roth IRA portfolio. And so I was like, oh yeah, like have you guys invested into anything recently? Like, you know, like anything that has looked good for you, you know, like I know like the market is down right now. You know, I've been investing into XYZ thing. People just gave me a look. They were like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I found out there were people there who have had a 401k for like 5 fucking years, have not invested into anything. 401k, money is just sitting there. No retirement fund investment, it was just sitting there. They just thought having the 401k was good enough. And I was like, no, that's not how it fucking works. You have to invest the money in your brokerage account in order for the money to make money. And it's like, what's going on? But that's the day that I found out that people do not understand financial literacy. There's a lot of people out there who are very lost and don't know what they're doing, and they are losing out on free fucking money, man. They're losing out on free money. Free money. Doesn't their 401k company invest for them? Did they not set them up? So some companies do. A lot of government companies do. Like I have a friend who worked in the school system, and the 401k company sets it up for them where it auto invests. But a lot of companies, if they're private, they don't do that because it's easier for them not to, because it costs less money to not have to pay for that additional, you know, service. So everyone check if your 401k is being invested in. If you are a working adult and your 401k is sitting there stagnant without being invested into anything, you are losing out on active money right now. Please check right now if you are investing in something in your 401k. I beg of you. Yena CFPCP. No, I mean, I do have to make a disclaimer. All the legal advice I give, all the financial advice I give is not credible because I am not licensed. So take it at face value. I am not legally responsible for you. I have to make the disclaimer. Right here, what the fuck is a 401k? Okay, yes, let me explain for the EU people. So in America, because we don't really have like a government issued retirement fund. Okay, we kind of do. We have Social Security. It's a little bit different though. Social Security is like kind of like, okay, let me first explain the absolute atrocities of the United States financial predicament, all right? So basically, we are a rich get richer nation. Like, the rich are able to invest in things in order to have returns on those things. In America, when you work a like licensed job per se, you basically get like Social Security points. And Social Security points allow for you to get a certain amount of money per month after you retire. So it's like your retirement fund. However, a lot of companies will also, wow, this is just becoming a financial literacy stream. What the fuck is happening? For a lot of people, Social Security isn't enough to get them by after retirement because America's fucking expensive. And you can't live off of like $500 here anymore. Like $500 a month anymore, you know? And so what a lot of companies will do if you're working for them is that they'll offer you a 401k match. A 401k is a retirement brokerage account that, oh my God, Daisy. Daisy, welcome in. We're learning about finances. Would you like to learn? Teach yourself at when, Yena? Nope, I'm not doing it. I know what you guys want. You guys just want to see me in a sexy librarian outfit. I know what the DGens want in chat. I'm not giving it to you. I'm gonna be fully clad, fully clothed, long sleeve turtleneck with, what are some teacher's pants? Long pencil skirt. There we go.
Joke's on you. I'm into it.
Fuck, I can't fucking win. So, because Social Security oftentimes is not enough for retirement funds, you don't put all your eggs in that basket. So I think for a lot of people in EU, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys don't really have retirement fund accounts, right? You guys kind of more so just have like, once you retire, the state gives you like a pension or something like that, right? I don't know how it works over there. But over here, once you retire, you're kind of just on your own. And so what companies will do is that they'll open up 401ks for you and they'll match your contributions up to a certain amount. For example, say for example, if Idle offered 401ks and I put in $2,000 into my 401k one year, Idle would then put in $2,000 of their own money into my 401k for me to invest. And then TLDR, basically the more you work for the company, the more that they'll invest into you for your retirement. And then eventually, once you get to retirement, you then have a bunch of money saved up in that account that has now grown in interest because of the way that the economy works. That's always rising. So yeah, it's usually, yeah, up to a percentage of your income, exactly, yeah. Idle doesn't offer 401k, bro. Do you think we're actually... I'm an anime girl on the internet. Think about this real carefully. Think about this real carefully. I mean, if you donate to me, I can invest it into my Roth IRA, which is basically like a 401k match from chat. If you really think about it, that stonks. So the way that brokerage accounts work here is that there's a bunch of different ones, and a lot of times all those different accounts have different requirements to be able to take that money out, and also different parameters. I don't know how to, okay, so for example, 401k, when you put the money in, you don't pay taxes on it. You put the money in, you don't pay taxes on it. So like, for example, right, if I made, say 100K that year, and I'm contributing 10K to my 401k. So for that year, I only have to pay taxes on 90K of my money, of my profit. What am I doing? What is this content? Guys, is this content? I don't even fucking know. Are you guys enjoying this? What's going on? Anyways. Fucking hell, bro. So 401ks, when you invest into them, you don't have to pay taxes on that money. So say, analogy, I made 100K and I invest 10K into my 401k. And now I only have to pay taxes on 90K of my money because it's my 90K of earned profit, my gross income. And so that's great, right? However, on 401ks, once you do retire and you take that money out, you have to pay taxes on the money you take out. But it's not too bad because you will have appreciated a lot of money as well, because that's just how the economy works. Economy is always growing, and that's why we bank on these like brokerage accounts to work, because the economy has shown to be in a trend of always steadily going upwards no matter what. Even during the Great Depression, even during like recessions and stuff like that, like it is always shown to be steadily going up no matter what, which is why these accounts are usually really safe. Why are you so hot? This is not the topic right now. But a Roth IRA is something that you open up yourself as an individual. So me, Yena Youngblood, I have a Roth IRA opened up under my social security number. And this Roth IRA is something that's completely just mine. No company touches it, just me. Roth IRAs usually have a contribution limit per year. So for example, if I made $1 million, I fucking wish, if I made $1 million one day and I wanted to invest $1 million into my Roth IRA, I can't do that. For Roth IRAs, every single year, you're only allowed a certain amount of contribution. I think for this year, it's like $7,500 or something like that. Can you guys stop saying I'm hot? I'm trying to talk about financial literacy. Hey, focus on finances. But on a Roth IRA, when you put in money, you do have to pay taxes on it. So for example, if I put, But so a Roth IRA, when you put in money, you don't have to pay taxes on it. So, sorry, you do have to pay taxes on it. See, it's very confusing. It's very, very confusing. It's all a mind fuck. It's all complicated to make it so you don't want to touch it ever and you don't make money. This is what I mean by the rich get richer, because if you don't have money to invest in the first place, you cannot do these things. And then if you also don't have accessibility to resources that can teach you these things, you cannot do these things. Yeah, it's so fucked up, which is why I'm a big advocate of financial literacy, because I never got taught this shit. I literally went on Google and I was like, what the fuck do I do for retirement? Like literally that's what I wrote. And I got started from there. I slowly learned and I figured it out, you know? But I am a big advocate for it because I do think that a lot of people are not using their money as efficiently as they could. And it's just sitting there in a savings account. Do you guys know about high yield savings accounts? Is that a thing? Is that a thing that you guys know about? If you guys don't have one yet, you should open one. It's a really, really good thing to have because it's basically a security account that you can take money from at any time that gains interest every single month. I have a high yield savings account that gives me a free $100 every single month. A free $100! Free! From the bank! And I can still take money out of that account at any time I want without penalty. It's just money that I have access to that the bank is giving me money for storing it at that bank. Isn't CD gives, okay, CDs.
These nuts.
I am not a fan of, just because I think if you're investing into a CD, context, God, we're jumping around in a lot of topics right now. So CDs are called certificate of deposits. They're bank accounts that are offered to you by the bank. They are accounts that the bank offers you with a higher interest rate in order to encourage you to store money with them. Guys, listen! Listen! Finances, listen! Certificate of deposits! Yes. So, for example, I actually opened a CD a while back. I stored, I think it was around, I won't say the number because I don't know if that's doxing information, but I think it's a little bit too sensitive information. But I have a pretty large amount of money in a CD right now. And my rate on it was, I believe, 5.5%. So basically, I get 5.5% of the amount of money I have in there every single month given to me for free. But the issue is I can't touch that big amount of money in that CD until my CD comes to maturity. That's the actual term they use. It comes to maturity. And basically that makes it so that chunk of money that you have isn't available to you for however long it takes for your account to come to maturity. 5% each month? Yeah, I get 5.5% each month. So for context, the money that's in my CD right now is the money that I was planning on using for buying a house. Like I was going to use that money as a down payment. That's how much money I have in there. So I cannot access it right now. So I am technically a little bit poor as of right now, since most of my money is in that account. But the reason why I say I don't recommend CDs when you're just starting out is because CDs are for people who are more financially stable, for people who can really just like throw their money into an account and just forget about it. Whereas like, I didn't know that going into it. I thought I could still take money out. I had no idea. I learned from my mistakes. And after I put all that money in there, I was a little bit living paycheck to paycheck until I finally got, you know, a bit more of a savings racked up. So yeah, I made that mistake too. You know, it's fun. You live and you learn. You live and you learn, you know? 401k, CD, Roth IRA. What else is important to know? High yield savings account. High yield savings account is probably the easiest account you can open up right now. Like even if you don't have like a good credit score, even if you don't have like, actually, even if you don't have any credit score, as long as you have a social security number in the US, I think you can still open up a high yield savings account like right now. But high yield savings accounts are great because they basically function like CDs, but they're a little bit more flexible. You can put money in, you can take money out at any point in time without penalty, and you still get a pretty high percentage on your savings account. So for example, I have a 4.66% on my high yield savings account, and I just keep all the money there that I have as emergency fund. And so like, as the months go by, I get 4.66% of how much money is in that account for free from the bank, just because I have money with them. You know what? I should do a presentation on this at this point. I should really just put a presentation together. Like at this point, like financial literacy 101. Isn't stocks better though? If you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing. Stocks are very volatile because the market is volatile. If you are just starting out, I highly recommend you go for something more stable, like a high yield savings account, opening up a Roth IRA and going for mutual funds or index funds. Sorry. For those who don't know, mutual funds and index funds are basically stocks, but they take an average of a bunch of stocks. So for example, there's the S&P 500 that is a index fund that's really, really recommended for beginners to buy. And the reasoning why is because it takes the top 500 stocks and it takes their average amount and makes it into a share. There's so many letters. And so investing into that is really stable because you'll always be investing into the top 500 stocks in the market. So no matter if the economy grows and those stocks grow, then you also get more money. Oh, also, yes, not sponsored, but like if you are looking for a place to do brokerage, you can't actually do them at normal banks. That's another thing. That's why it's really fucking confusing. You can't go to like Capital One or Bank of America or like Wells Fargo for these accounts. You have to go to a brokerage account dealer, which is like Charles Schwab or Vanguard or whatever like that. There's a bunch of different options, you know, choose what you feel is right for you. But yeah, Fidelity is also a good one. Yeah, exactly. There's a bunch of them. But the big issue is that you really cannot do anything. You really cannot do anything without this knowledge. Like, I remember the first time I learned about brokerage accounts, I was like setting up like my account on my brokerage dealership, whatever they're called. And like, it was just so confusing. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I have to make a whole new account for this? And then I also have to apply for these accounts as well? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, so for example, I started my Roth IRA. Let's see. I started my Roth IRA back in 2022. So honestly, I even started a little bit late. Like, I would recommend if you are in your early 20s right now, this is the best time to get started. Start maximizing your input into your Roth IRA. You are set for retirement. Like, set aside $500 a month. Try to put as much money into your Roth IRA as possible. You are set for life. Like, if you are 20s right now, get on it. Fucking get on it.
Do it! Just do it!
Like, this shit, I wish I learned this earlier. But yeah, so for example, in my Roth IRA, I won't say the amount of money I have invested into it, but so far, I have made a total gain of $5,500 since 2022. That's a free $5,500 untaxed. No tax on that. Just for whenever I retire, that's a free $5,000. It's actually insane. I was like, I can get free money? That's fucking crazy.
Come again, sir.
Why did no one tell me about this? I want free money. But that's money you get from investing into the market. So again, I highly recommend. I highly recommend. Spiel over. But again, this is all money that I can't access until I retire. So this is money that I'm setting up for when I eventually am no longer an anime girl and I need to start living a life of an old man.